Hello historians, this is Mrs. Tyler and I'm going to be introducing our Big Six Pivotal Moments Research Project. You can see down in the corner that there is a picture of the packet that we use in order to do this project. So let's continue. So for this project, you are acting as a curator for the Smithsonian, which is a large national museum made up of 19 different museums, technically. The museum has asked you to contribute a page to their upcoming Pivotal Moments in American History commemorative book. Each page of the book will showcase a decisive event in U.S. history that has shaped our country today. At this point, I usually show a video with Ben Stiller, who's an actor and comedian, and he kind of walks students through what the Smithsonian is and what kinds of things are kept at the Smithsonian and who works for the Smithsonian, but I can't show that through this video, so you'll have to miss out on that. But it's a great introduction to what the Smithsonian is. Your job will be to choose a primary source from the gallery that I will have up coming up in the days ahead. We're going to do something called a Wonder Wander, and there's a page in this Pivotal Moments Research Project packet that you will complete during your Wonder Wander. And then you will narrow down your choice and choose one of the images in that Wonder Wander to research and learn more about what event it is showing. And from your research, you will design a one-page spread that's going to be a book page. That's going to be a part of the Smithsonian's book that explains why that event shown in the image you chose is essential to understanding some of the American values and principles for our country. Okay, so this is the Curators Checklist. This is the checklist that we go through as we are collecting our information. This project is called the Big Six Pivotal Moments Research Project because there are 6 big tasks. You're going to do these elements that lead us to the next step. And so there are basically these 6 steps. And I've broken those 6 steps down into like 10 assignments in our packet that we'll go through. Okay. This is the grading rubric that the teachers use, established by the district. So all the 7th graders in Anoka Hennepin district use this as their as the rubric and the grading guide. It is a great resource to use as you're going through and trying to find out if you have everything that you needed to get an A on this project. So in order to get 5s all the way down, this is what you want to make sure you have. Okay, these 2 sections are some of the most important because this is what we're actually doing the project to test you on, to assess you on, based on Minnesota state standards. So these categories are double the value in points. So if you get this, then you technically get 10 points. Okay. So that's how that will work. Make sure that you take a good look at that especially before you turn in what you think is your finished product, because that will help you understand what is expected. Like grammar, spelling, use good color, graphics, and fonts. You need to have a works cited list. All of these things are elements of getting a good score on this project. So we're going to look at a couple examples. One is a great example and one is a not so great example. And when you do this on page, on the first assignment, it says assignment 1, I notice, I wonder, analyzing sample projects. So there's that front side and back side to this that you're going to complete as we look at these samples. So here's the first sample. And I give students a little bit of time to just take a good read and look at this. It's also printed in black and white in your packet. So what you are supposed to do right now is on the first page for the assignment 1, you need to write down 3 to 5 statements of what you notice about this good quality project and what it makes you wonder. So some examples could be, I notice that the person who created this is Laura Morgan. She's in hour 4. I wonder, is this person real or is this, made up person so that we can have something to analyze? Okay. I noticed that the title of this project is Equality. I wonder why they chose equality when clearly I can also see that this page is about someone in history named Rosa Parks. Okay, so those are some really obvious statements. Some things that we talked about then together as a class is that there's this big image here, and students notice things like that each image that's provided has a caption and has a link to to cite its source where they got that information. That the picture is showing Rosa Parks. It's a mugshot, and she must have been arrested. And so then from there, from the image, we have this whole project that's typed up nice and neat. There's the thesis statement. There's a topic sentence that basically explains why this word was chosen for the American value of that is reflected in this photograph. And so this person did research, provides a little bit of background information on why Rosa Parks was arrested, what happened because of her arrest, and how in this whole process she's working towards providing more equality for American people. The last paragraph, we also said that we noticed that it's showing a pivotal moment in U.S. history because it shows one of the first acts of the civil rights movement and caused major legal and social changes in the treatment of people of color. So this last paragraph is basically the justification of why this moment in history is a pivotal moment and would belong in a book that features pivotal moments. The word pivotal means it's a turning point. It pivots. It changes our direction as a country. So this last paragraph that you're going to use when you make your project is you want to make sure that you're explaining how this moment changed the course of history for future generations. Then we looked at a not so great example. It's supposed to be by the same person. Okay, once again, you can say, what you notice and what you wonder. I noticed that instead of it being about equality, this time they made the title about Rosa Parks. I noticed that there are spelling errors, like bus is spelled incorrectly, Montgomery, Alabama is not correct. I also noticed that the colors that this person used, while they're kind of pretty, it does make it hard to read. So it's difficult to read some of the things because of this light blue on this green and this yellowish against this blue. I also noticed that they did not write in complete sentences or even put anything into a paragraph structure. So it says, who? Rosa Parks. What? Sat on a bus and didn't get up. Where? Montgomery, Alabama. Okay. Why? She was tired and didn't want to move. This does not give any of the background information, really. I mean, it does provide a year, and it does provide a location, although it's spelt wrong. But there needs to be much more detail in this person's project than what is provided. When you write a thesis statement, it is supposed to be naturally included into the introduction of your writing. So having down here, having it say thesis, this piece is about equality because she wanted to be treated the same. It also it doesn't define equality in their own words. It doesn't include good information about what equality means and how this person was working towards that value of equality by the choices, by the event that took place. So this is not a very good example. Sadly, though, a lot of students think that this is what is expected and they turn in a project that kind of looks like this. And we want to make sure that you know you are expected to have it look more like this. This is the example you want to use to make sure if your project looks similar to this, you've got your assigned image right here. You've got a second related image, whether it's this, in this case, it's a diagram. It could also be like an advertisement. It could be a painting, a portrait, another photograph, something like that. Both of them need to have captions. They also need to have a source linked. And I will help give you one for the image that you're assigned, but your other one, you're going to have to, wherever you find it from, you're going to have to provide the website or location that you get it. You're going to need to write in complete sentences. Your first sentence should be about this title, which will be one of the 10 vocabulary words in the purple packet that you took today or yesterday. And you need to explain what it is and understand that this is your thesis statement. The photograph is about equality because, and then define equality in your own words and explain how this image is showing equality or whatever, whichever one of the 10 words you choose. So that will be your thesis statement. Then you need to provide a couple of paragraphs, short paragraphs. They don't have to be super long, but you're going to, after you do your research, you're going to summarize that into a couple of paragraphs, giving a little bit of the background, the who, what, when, where, why information, Rosa Parks, talking about the what, there's going to be some information here, okay? When, 1955, where, Montgomery, Alabama, okay? Why? Because there was unequal treatment. You can understand, so you can answer all those questions by doing the research that you need and then typing it into these nice, properly formatted paragraphs, and then make sure you have a concluding paragraph about why it's a pivotal moment. What changed in our country because of that moment? How are we impacted even today? Because in this instance, Rosa Parks refused to move her seat on the bus. How is that going to impact the future of our country? All right, so the assignment for today is to make sure that you have assignment 1, I notice, I wonder, done about this good example and about the bad example. And that's where we'll leave off for today. Thanks so much.